Hi, I'm Janet. I'm the Hot Mess Car Medium, and this is where we get into all of it. This is the show for moms who feel everything, sense everything, and are still trying to figure out what to do with all of that. Some episodes will make you laugh, some might make you cry, and some might make you check if your lights are flickering. So grab your coffee and buckle up, Buttercup. Hey, welcome back to Hot Mess Car Medium. I'm Janet, and if you're new here, go back to episode 1 and start there, because this is a whole thing, and I want you to get the full picture before this episode. And ahead of time, I am truly sorry about my voice. It's allergy season here in Virginia, and I am losing the battle like I do every year. So, I'm sorry. Please come back. Anyway, today I want to tell you how GoodLuna Healing became a real thing. Not just an idea, not just a collection of weird experiences that I was having quietly in my kitchen at midnight. An actual intentional name thing with a website and a logo and a booking link and everything. Because if there's one thing my ADHD brain does is hyperfixate, and that was a strong hyperfixation that night. And I want to tell you about where the name came from, because honestly, it's probably one of my favorite parts of my story. My maiden name is Luna, and my married name is Goodwin. And at some point when I was trying to figure out what this whole thing was, I looked at both of those names and I thought, what if I just combine them? And then I thought, oh, that looks pretty. GoodLuna Healing. The name that my whole life made. Because DeLuna is where I came from. It's my mom's family. It's the roots. The very Catholic, never miss a holy day of obligation. But also very spiritual side that received messages from the other side like it was just another casual Thursday. It's the part of me that was always sensitive, always picking things up, always somehow knowing things I had no business knowing at 11 years old. And giving people advice who were twice my age like I was some kind of tiny oracle. I would just say stuff and I didn't know where it was coming from. But I would close it out like, but I don't know though, I'm only 11. And the fact that they turned to a kid for advice was also mind-boggling to me. But I was always told I was wise for my age, which is really code for you speak adult very well for a kid. And Goodwin is who I became. The family I built. My husband, who went from absolutely not, I'm not going to a medium, to, hey, you feel anything in this house? Which I still find hilarious, even many years later. So GoodLuna is both the woman I was born and the woman I grew into, sitting together in one name. And then healing, because that's what it all pointed towards. That's where every weird experience, every unexplained moment, every late night rabbit hole, and every phone reading with Kristin, that's where it all landed. Side note, I'm pretty sure I've watched every episode of The Hollywood Medium and The Long Island Medium. Not the ghost hunting shows, though. They do scare me. I'm always like, are you just going into that very haunted place all willy-nilly without any protection? No, sir. No. Or no, ma'am. Absolutely not. Anyway, I didn't sit down and brand this. I didn't hire someone to come up with something clever. The name was just already there, waiting for me. And here's the thing about GoodLuna Healing that I want to explain properly, because from an outsider's perspective, it might look like 3 random things that got lumped together. Mediumship, Reiki, and nervous system support for ADHD brain owners. I'll be honest, looking at that list, I'm like, what a weirdo. And I understand why it might seem strange, but from the inside, it was never random. It always felt like it was 3 roads that were going to the same place, and I just had to walk all 3 of them before I could see where they met. Mediumship was first. And I want to be honest, I didn't arrive at mediumship through a course or a workshop or a decision. It was just always there. Like when I was 11 and older cousins or older people were coming to me for advice, and I was like, oh yes, okay, yes, I do see your problem, and here's what I'm thinking. But I also can't drive yet, so, tread lightly on this. I didn't know I was channeling. I just thought I was good at reading people and their problems. I thought everyone felt rooms the way I felt rooms. I thought everyone just knew things the way that I knew things. I didn't have a word for it yet. And I did wonder how I could give advice, but came up empty when I tried to take my own advice. I get it now, though. It's harder to channel for yourself. I'm still working on that part. And to be honest, it might continue to stay a work in progress. Then Kristin gave me the word. You can do this, what I'm doing. You're a medium. It's like, you're wild. But it turns out that I am. And then Reiki showed up in the most practical, unglamorous way possible. I needed knee surgery again. And if you've been a friend of mine since high school, you know that I stay needing knee surgeries. Kristin offered to do a Reiki session beforehand, and I said yes because I trusted her. And I was also very nervous, since this was the first surgery I would have after having my daughter. And I was genuinely blown away by what happened. Not in a dramatic way, but in a quiet, oh, this is real and it works and I need to know everything about it kind of way. For example, after surgeries, I have the worst hangovers because of the anesthesia. They're so awful. Not only do I not remember anything, but I'm nauseous and I'm throwing up for the entire day afterward. And I don't have any recollection of what happened either. But after that surgery, I was fine. Literally no nausea. I walked out. I was still a little woozy, but I do remember it, which is different. Now, could it have been that I got better nausea medication for the surgery? Absolutely, yes. But can I prove it wasn't because of the Reiki? No, I can't. So I'm going to stick to the Reiki out. So I told Kristin, and she said, I teach Reiki. And I said, oh, word? Okay, then let's do it. Make me a Reiki. Because I didn't know Reiki from Adam. I'm a bit more refined now, but back then you could have told me that Reiki was just, another word for mowing a lawn or whatever. I know better now, though. So I get my Reiki 1 certification, and then my Reiki 2, and then we just kind of let it settle. It was like any other piece of a puzzle clicking into place, though. And then last year in the fall, I went back to Kristin for my Reiki Master certification, which I'll tell you more in another episode because the timing of that whole story is wild. And then there's a nervous system support. That one came last, and it came from a very personal space because living with ADHD means your nervous system is doing something very specific and very exhausting all the time. You're processing everything louder. You're feeling everything at full volume. Every room, every person, every shift in energy, every facial feature, facial expression, everything. And then you're also trying to be normal, quote unquote. Like during conversations, I would think, have you nodded? Okay, time to nod. Don't nod too much. Okay, you're looking past them again and now they're turning around. Can't you just make eye contact? Jeez. Okay, now let them talk. Don't interrupt with your story. And then other fun internal conversations like that. And I started to realize that the moms I went to help were feeling that way too. Not always because of ADHD specifically, but because of life. Because the weight of motherhood and the beautiful, relentless chaos that it brings. Because nobody had ever told them that their sensitivity was actually a superpower, and they just needed somewhere to go. So I thought, what if I built something that holds all of that? Nervous system work, the energy healing, the connection to something way bigger. And so I built GoodLuna Healing. And let me be completely honest about this. I didn't launch GoodLuna Healing because I had a perfectly constructed business plan. I didn't launch it because I had done market research and all of the other glorious businessy things that I should have done. No, I launched it because my guide showed me, or rather pushed me, towards a metaphysical market in May of 2025, and I couldn't ignore it. They wouldn't let me ignore it. Also, shout out to Marsha from Marsha's Media Management and Stephanie from Hexes and Healings here in Fredericksburg. That festival was legit. And I'm excited because I get to participate in the next one coming up in a few weeks. Now, when I say that my guides pushed me, I mean I was pushed. It wasn't a gentle suggestion. It was a feeling of, this is the next thing. You know it's the next thing. You can be nervous all you want, but you're going to do it anyway. So I would get over the fear. So I said, okay, I guess this is what I'm doing. And in true ADHD fashion, I went completely in overnight. I had a website, email, Instagram business page, pricing, logo, business cards, booking site, all of it, because, go big or go home. Before I could talk myself out of it or decided I wasn't ready, I just did it. I said, okay, I guess this is what I'm doing. Because this is what I've learned about myself in this whole thing. If I wait until I feel ready, actually feel ready, I will wait forever. The ADHD brain will find 17 things to do before the thing that it has to do. And then the moment will pass, and 6 months later, I'll still be saying, oh, I'm not ready yet. So I didn't wait, I just built it. And then I showed up to that festival with my little table, my little chair, and my tent, and it got busy. So many people, more than I expected. And it was way more than the part of me that was still nervous had prepared for. But I did get to meet some amazing people who are still clients and friends. I was able to connect with amazing souls, and each reading made me more confident in what I had built and what I will continue building. The array of personalities that come through was nothing short of amazing. Just so you know, your loved ones keep their personalities on the other side. If they were a riot here, they will be a riot there. If they were really quiet, then that's how they come through. But the common thread is that they live in a frequency of love. There's nothing scientific about it. It's just love, and it just exists. It's a state of being, and that's how I've wanted to continue this practice. Based in love, shared with love, and kept in love. When I left the festival, I was exhausted, but I was also filled with this adrenaline because I was doing what I was supposed to be doing. This is where I realized that testimonials are amazing, and they are helpful to my ADHD brain. But my soul doesn't need the validation. My soul just knows that it's supposed to be doing this. And I've been chasing that feeling with every reading ever since. So to close out on that, your guides don't push you toward things you weren't ready for. They push you toward things that are already waiting for you. You just have to show up. Just build the website. Just show up. GoodLuna Healing exists because my maiden name and my married name decided to become something together. Because a medium named Kristin picked up the phone. And because my grandmother came through. Because my nervous system was always sensitive and I finally just stopped apologizing for it. It exists because I stopped waiting to feel ready and started trusting. Whatever you're sitting on right now, whatever thing keeps coming back to you that you keep talking yourself out of, I just want you to consider that maybe that nudge is real. Maybe it's been real for longer than you've been listening to it. I'm Janet, and this is the Hot Mess Car Medium. No, wait, before you go. If this episode hit somewhere real for you, if you're nodding along and thinking, yes, this is me, this is my life, I have something for that exact moment. It's called I Need a Minute. It's an app, and it does exactly what the name says. It gives you in the moment moral support when life gets messy, when parenthood gets messy, when work gets messy. And it's helpful right now. Not tomorrow, not after you've read 3 chapters of a self-help book. Right now, right in the middle of it. Because you don't need a whole plan, you just need someone to say, I see you. The link is in the show notes, so go check it out. Okay, now I'll see you on the next one.